This is the quintessential core reason why people will fail in semen retention or edging. It's because we still want to play a little bit. It's like we want the benefits of semen retention, but that old habit, that old dopamine addict, we still want to extract some euphoria, some dopamine drug, some excitement from indulging in certain thoughts, fantasies, actions, etc. See, most people don't have the self-honesty to know that. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get my streak going, I want the benefits, but then I want to play a little bit. It's like, okay, I got the benefits now, so can I play a little bit? I just play a little bit. This is the thing. This is the last stage that has to go. You can't do this overnight. What are you gonna do? Especially the edging, especially the fantasy thoughts and stuff. Like, this is a deep-seated habit. So you do the best you can do. But it's that one thought. I just got out of the shower. I want to look in the mirror now. Damn. That's what I'm saying. See, that activates. Then you start to think maybe, ooh, girls will like this. Then you start to imagine, right? So that one thought starts to attract a bunch of other associative thoughts. Next thing you know, you've activated the lust. So now it's easier to indulge in that more as you go through the day. Because you're like, look, man, I'm not watching stuff on the internet anymore. I'm not going to prostitutes. So you're doing, like, it's true, you're doing good. But this is how the mind justifies. I'm not doing all that. I can play around a little. I'm full on, man. My cheese up. Like, oh yeah, she looks good. Oh, she senses the energy. Yeah, I'm gonna milk that for a minute. Hey, what's up? See, you're playing in that world again. Then that creates the momentum that perpetuates this habitual stream of lustful thinking, and then it's harder to let go again. And then in time, that can turn into a relapse. So what you do when you do this, because you're gonna do it, there's no, like, you just accept, like, okay, I'm a human being, I have limitations, I'm not perfect, like, that's gonna happen. When you do it, you try to cut it as quick as you can. I've shared, and I'll keep sharing about the real remedy for overcoming this is to be conscious. You be aware of what you're doing. That's it. You might still do it, but just be conscious. In time, that consciousness is going to activate your own inner wisdom, and then you're going to somehow just, clarity's going to come and you're not going to want to do it. Or if you do it, you're going to be able to break it. You'll stop it, and then you'll feel good about that progress. You're like, damn, I just cut that. That's good. Then the thought will try to get you again. And you're like, no, I'm not going there, man. I'm going to stay. You know, pay attention to how many thoughts do you have in a day? I'm not saying pay attention to that, but I'm saying this question. I mean, just imagine how many thoughts you have in a day. How many of those thoughts are linked into nonsense thinking, especially in the lustful sexual category? So many, man. So many. That's why the real healing isn't doctors and pharmaceutical drugs, nor is it external remedies and therapies and supplements. See, everybody wants a quick fix. Just give me something. Just give me something. They don't want to look. They don't want to look and introspect and see, how am I losing energy? Energy is what heals everything. Well, people don't want that responsibility. They don't want to change their lifestyle and their habits. So there's a big market for doctors and holistic practitioners and supplement companies to make a bunch of money, because that's the easy way out. But if you ever met any real authentic person or doctor or somebody, they're going to talk about your lifestyle. Why? Because they've realized it in their own self. So they have to tell you about this. These 99% of the world, they don't know how this stuff works. They just don't know. They don't know. They're like ignorant. They can't help it. They don't know. What don't they know? They don't know that energy is the source of healing. When when you have more life force, especially if you have nervous system issues or mental health imbalances, you need energy. So when you have more energy, all of a sudden, things just kind of start to balance a little bit. You're not taken over by these neurological dysfunctions that you had before that give symptoms that the doctors label as, whatever, bipolar or anxiety or OCD, etc. Those things start to get balanced. Imagine that. You see how there's no doctor can fix that. All they do is give drugs to suppress it. But when you have more life force, you can actually, those things start to balance out. Energy's deeper than your nervous system. The energy, the intelligence of the body, which is 1,000,000 times smarter than any brain out there, it knows how to kind of balance things and fix it. And then you notice your symptoms are less. You're like, whoa. So then you put it together. You're like, I really need to do this for my own well-being. So then that's how you organically come to want to do this. Because you actually see your life depends on it. At least having a good experience in this form depends on you cutting these negative habits that just cause pain and suffering and weaken your body and mind. That person, they're going to succeed in being free of edging and on semen retention. But somebody that's just doing it because they want to get more girls, like, you see what I mean? The motivation's not there. It's not deep enough. But we got to start like that, because I did. This is an evolutionary process and unfoldment. Like, we come to realize these things more and more as we grow in wisdom. And then you have something you can really share with somebody. So that's how you can say one comes to have the inner strength to cut these thoughts that come and make us indulge in these old habits, because they come with such force and strength. It's like, how do we not do this? We need inner power to not do this. Well, how do you activate the inner power? Where does that come from? Through realization, deep realization that this is a very important, necessary thing for you to do. When that realization gets activated, then all of a sudden the inner strength you start to have access to that, and then you can cut these things. That's how it works. All right, did I miss anything? Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So I can't give that to somebody. So then how do these videos help? Because you already know this somewhere inside you. There's a whispering of this, like you already know this. Like, our consciousness is trying to tell us this, but the habitual, addicted, lustful voice for a while is louder. It like drowns out, because our true self, it speaks very quiet. It's not trying to prove anything or do anything. It says, look, maybe you don't want to do that. But then the habit's like, yeah, you do. And so then we go with the habit. So what happens later, there's a reversal. This inner whispering starts to become the loud voice. And then the ego mind, habitual addicted mind, it's like being around a noisy neighbor person or something. You don't listen to them. If they're always talking nonsense and they come up to you and they're like, oh man, can you believe this? Like this, I seen this guy and he jumped in the lake and then he started making a bunch of noise. They have some crazy story. Like, you're just not interested. Can you hear? You know what the government's doing? Yeah, I don't know. See, you don't listen to it. This happens with your own mind. You stop listening to it. That has to happen organically, because we're trained and conditioned for so many years, and society all does it. Listen to the mind. So it's a changing over. This is alchemy. This is the alchemic process. You start to listen to this deeper inner intuitive voice instead of the mind. So just pay attention to that. Just discern the difference. Do you even know the difference? A lot of people don't even know the difference. There's a difference. There's a difference between your inner voice and the mental voice. Once you discern the difference, then you start listening to the higher voice. It's like, okay, you realize the difference, choose that which is higher. It becomes common sense. There's still a fight for a while, this inner battle. This is life. But you're going to come out on top. Like the ego, habitual, addicted mind, it's on borrowed time now. And then it might get louder, right? Because it's like getting beat. It's like, oh no, I got to break out my big guns now. He's beating me. So understand that war that's taking place, that's natural and it's good. That means you're winning. All right? So just keep winning. All right.